This conference will now be recorded.
So, gentlemen, I quickly again revise Forcebite. Read the Forcebite. What are the symptoms of the Forcebite? What is numbness? The symptoms of Forcebite skin and its adverse effects. Gangrene.
Imran bhai, I have one question
Yes.
regarding the frostbite. What is the relation of this frostbite with the like construction work or with the safety?
Yes, the good question. Basically, when you are working in a cold environment, uh, and um, or when you are where you are working with the jackhammers, compactor machines, like there is a vibration, in these kind of machines you are working there. So in these areas or in this kind of working, will pose the force bite, or which and causing the injury to your skin and underlying tissues. And most probably that you also not wearing some protective gloves in this while working in this environment. So this is another reason of force bite injury, because it freezing the hands, and and other areas like nose, ears, cheeks, and chin. So I have only this kind of input. Have anybody?
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's okay. Thank you.
Okay, Mohammed, can you any input on it? Can you have?
Huh? Nothing. Just to explain. That's all. What we have. It
Okay,
is
okay,
about if you can put some input, or the people have to remember as we are talking about the cold stress, heat stress. Also, we have to know the leveling or the parts of heat stress, heat stock, and I think all of this explained already. Uh,
okay,
I'm not sure.
okay,
I think it is heated. It is explained in the thermo chapter number 11 of the DVDs.
okay, okay. Then we will move to the span quiz one. Question number 8. What is carpal tunnel syndrome? Basically, it is an inflammation of tendons in the wrist that affects the median nerve. So, what is now the question arises that what is de Quervain's disease? De Quervain disease is a painful wrist condition that affects the tendons on the thumb side or wrist, the radial side. Now the question arises that uh, if it is the inflammation of tendon, then what is the tendon? Basically, the tendon is a fibrous connective tissue which attach muscle to the bone. You can see this the picture in the muscles, and this fibrous connective tissue which attach to the muscle bone. So this is tendon, and this tendon in our body, the tendon is at knee and elbow side, and in the finger joints, and in the thumb joints as well. So where is the joint of bone is there, uh, and tendon is lies on it.
This carpal tunnel syndrome is generally occurring in this, once the tendons and the median nerves are entering to our, this hand, there is one
Oh yes,
hole.
yes,
Yeah, there is one hole. Yeah, it is going inside there. So once you are working in some environment here, you are forcing something, or you are in repetitive injury, or you hammering, once this median nerves get, pressed, it against something, it get pressed, and it gets some small injury, then your hand will feel too much pain. that is called carpal tunnel, because carpal is calling this area. I cannot show now because this is mobile. So once this medium nerves get pressed inside, then you will have too much pain in your hand, in your palm.
Yes,
So that is called carpal tunnel syndrome. There is
yes,
one, another is tarsal tunnel syndrome. You know, tarsal. You remember both of these, carpal and tarsal. Tarsal is
okay,
occurring is in the feet. You know, same like once near this downside feet, this elbow. Here is tarsal.
okay,
So there is some median nerves also there. Once is going to the feet side, and let's suppose if you are jumping or you are some vibrating environment, there is some vibrations. You are working in that area, so that nerves will get pressed and it will get a small injury. Then you will feel too much pain in your feet also. That is called tarsal tunnel syndrome.
okay. Thank you.
Ishfaq bhai, can you explain again, because there was some distortion in the voice. I did not get it properly. Can you please repeat?
Carpal
Actually,
tunnel, just
question is
it's self-explained. Carpal is calling this hand area, no, near the palm and this arm, the joint, that is called carpal. There is one small tunnel inside here, and in that tunnel, the median nerves and some other muscles are going there inside our palm side. Okay, let's suppose if you are working in some tools which is vibrating too much, same like chainsaw or grinder or some drill, etc., which have too much vibrations, or you are forcing something daily, applying too much force on daily basis. So there is a chance that this median nerve will get pressed against the bones or etc., etc. Small injury. Okay, it will get pressed too much, so then you will feel pain in your palm and your
Yeah,
hand and your fingers, etc. That is called
yeah,
carpal tunnel syndrome. Another
got
is tarsal. Another is tarsal tunnel syndrome is generally happening in the feet. This and tarsal area, there is a small tunnel from which these nerves are going to the feet, and it controls the movement of the fingers. So once you are jumping or you are working in some environment which is vibrating too much, there is a chances that this nerves will get damaged, or it will get pressed, and then you will face too much pain in your feet. That is called tarsal tunnel syndrome.
actually the tarsal
Okay,
is near the your ankle inside the foot. So this question is actually given to me for this carpal tunnel syndrome. I think mostly Mr. Ashfaq has already explained everything. But tarsal is near the ankle in your foot. So where there is a compression or squeezing. So where there is a similar nerve, how it is present in the carpal tunnel. So once that is compressing or squeezing, so usually it happens in the basketball players. So when they keep on repeatedly jumping, so this nerve gets compressed. So thereby there is a unbearable pain which they are going to face. That is along the path of the nerve.
yes, and one just Jawad, welcome after 2 days. We have Jawad with us.
Thank you, Milan. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
okay,
Sorry, I
then
really missed your sessions.
o- okay, okay, you will cover it. Okay, one more information about the this carpal tunnel is that the in ladies and in women, this tunnel uh, is very thin, or we can say that in man this tunnel is big, but in women this tunnel is carpal tunnel is thin, and if it is compressed because of vibrating movement and repetitive action, then maybe there will be a surgery of this carpal, so as to ease the median nerve that will help to movement of the fingers. So this is an other information regarding the carpal tunnel. So next we will move to uh, epicondylitis, sorry, epicondylitis. Basically, epicondylitis is known as carpenter elbow or a tennis elbow. When you are playing the tennis, so your main area is forced the tennis, and the ball is the elbow, where is elbow joint, and shoulder ends and the elbow joints. So tennis elbow lateral epicondylitis is a painful condition that occurs when tendons in the elbow are overloaded, usually by the repetitive motion of the wrist and arm, because wrist and arm both are working while we are playing the tennis. So it is a repetitive motion, and our elbow, uh, our wrist and arm both overloaded. So this epicondylitis is occurred, and it is also known as carpenter's elbow. Next is
Just
what is
one thing, if
yes,
the people want to go to make writing, if you go to the schedule in the span, all of the diseases, maybe the thumb and the hand and the finger and the wrist, and the hand and the wrist, and the wrist and the finger. Everyone from this have one disease. So if we just remember every disease is cover which part of the hand, so it is easy for us to remember.
yes, Mohammed, you are
Because
right, and
actually
there is a
that is the only concept I take it to remember. How what is it?
yes, Mohammed, there is a table in a span as well, and this table is very comprehensive and remember, because most of the disease has their name itself, like Renault syndrome, also known as the white finger. So it
Yes,
is a disease of, yes, and some diseases like the trigger finger. It is a disease of finger,
trigger
and
finger about the finger only.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, the back side is the whole body vibration is the back pain. So it's very easy if we will read the span that belongs. It's very easy.
Just
So
when we need to start to remember this, we need to start to know which part of the body. So
okay,
our hand, as I told you, there is diseases for finger only, for trigger finger. There is
yes,
diseases for some finger, and there is diseases for finger and wrist, tunnel syndrome, and this some diseases for hand, for wrist only. Okay, so every part
okay,
you will understand what is the occupational requirement, because as I see in some question in the exams in the volume number 2, he talking direct about the occupational reasons. So he will tell you someone working as a carpenter or as a steel fixer, and he will tell you which diseases he will get. So as
yes,
we have to know which part of this hand he is using and how it will, or what is the diseases will be related to this part.
okay, okay. That's right. So next we will move to the tendin tendinitis. Tendinitis. It is a swelling of tendon. Where here is a, you can see the picture. If the swelling occur because of the repeated motion or any other factor involved, then it is known as the tendinitis. And what is the tenosynovitis? No, sorry, it's very terminology is tenosynovitis. So tenosynovitis it is a swelling of the sheath surrounding the tendon, typically in the wrist, often caused by the repetitive movements such as typing. So the next question is, what is the trigger finger? Trigger finger is a condition in which one of the fingers gets stuck in a bent position. It is a particular type of tenosynovitis nivitis in which tendon becomes nearly locked because of, say, swelling in it, or because of the having some impact force on it. The tendon becomes nearly locked. When tendon locked, uh, then the fingers get stuck and bent in a inward position to the palm side position. So it is the trigger finger. Now we move to the span quiz 2, question number 4. What is the Thoracic Outlet syndrome? It is also known as TOS. TOS, basically TOS is the disorder resulting from the compression of nerve and the blood vessels between the clavicle and the first and the second ribs at brachial flexus. Causes of this is from the typing, keying, carrying heavy loads, and keeping the heads, arms, and shoulder in an unnatural position. This this nerve of blood vessel is very clavicle. Clavicle is a bone near the shoulder, around the shoulder, and it touch the first and the second ribs. Our ribs. It touch the first and second ribs at brachial flexus. Basically, brachial flexus are the network of nerves, and these nerves are spreaded around the clavicle and first and second ribs, and extended from the spinal cord through the circulatory canal in the neck over the first rib, because basically this system of nerve uh, spreading from spinal cord, clavicle, rib sides. So if there is a stretch because of the heavy loads, keeping heads in a one position, arms and shoulder in unnatural position, then you will feel the pain of TOS.
Imran,
We will
you
move.
spoke about this clavicle bone or what?
Yes, this is a clavicle bone. Yes.
No, I mean, sorry to interrupt, because this issue is only related to clavicle. So, what is the meaning of this disease? I mean, how we can pronounce this disease then? This belongs to thoracic outlet syndrome or some other one?
Thoracic outlet syndrome. So it is usually between the whenever there is a nerve in between the collarbone and the first rib. So the first rib is usually we call it as thoracic outlet. So whenever there is a compression or of the blood vessels or nerve, so in between these two, so this leads to thoracic outlet syndrome.
Oh, okay, Mushtaq. Okay, because thoracic belongs to your this nape area, neck area. Like it
Yeah,
starts for right.
shoulder and neck, shoulder and
Yeah,
neck.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
shoulder and neck.
Okay, so
Thank you.
we are having this clavicle bone. Like this is
Happen,
starting from the span.
accident happen. So this collarbone, near this collarbone, usually it gets broken, or sometimes this thoracic outlet syndrome also happens to them.
Yep, the most broken bone is actually the clavicle bone.
Yeah.
Okay, Imran, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mushtaq Shah. The next is what is pneumothorax? Basically, thorax can be complete lungs collapse or a collapse of only a portion of the lungs. And what is atelectasis? So atelectasis is one of the most common breathing respiratory complications after the surgery. And in atelectasis, the lungs may also be collapsed or not working in fully in the working condition after the surgery. What is polymorphous light eruption? Basically, polymorphous light eruption, also known as polymorph light eruption, is a rash caused by a sun exposure in people who have developed a sensitivity to the sunlight. You know that some people got some rashes when they are working in direct in the sunlight. So this uh, disease is known as uh, polymorphic light eruption. So that's end of my questions. Now, if Mushtaq Sheikh, I already just a wait minute, please. I
Yeah,
already
can you that
yes.
session? Yeah,
So
because
can
most of the
yes.
thing, so it's very less for me to speak. So I will complete that one. So the question was asked like which of the following best describes the carpal tunnel syndrome? So the elbow and shoulder swelling and inflammation, and the second one is inflammation of ligaments in the wrist, and Raynaud's syndrome of hand and wrist, and numbness of lower legs. So the answer was like inflammation of ligaments in the wrist, because yeah, in Raynaud's syndrome, it's given that hand and wrist. So the difference already it has been explained by you already. It was very nice. Like in Raynaud's syndrome is also as you mentioned, the Raynaud's syndrome is also told as white finger disease, or there is other two names are also there, which we call it as wax finger or dead finger. Okay, so
Okay.
in carpal tunnel syndrome, we can see the image at the right side, which is showing that there is a nerve, median nerve, which is coming. So this median nerve is coming only to the four fingers. We can say thumb, index finger, and the middle finger, and it is coming partially to the ring finger, what we call it as ring finger. So this nerve doesn't go to the little finger, that is what we call it as a pinky finger. So the carpal tunnel syndrome is caused by the when there is a compression on the median nerve, which runs from the forearm into the palm of the hand, so becomes pressed or squeezed at the wrist. So it is a narrow passageway surrounded by bones and the ligaments on the palm side of your hand. One second. Fire alarm is coming. Yeah. So on your hand, compression of the median nerve may result to numbness, weakness, or sometimes pain in the hand and wrist. So this symptoms sometimes it comes to the Raynaud's, but it happens to your other things also. The what we say there is a cold because Raynaud's syndrome is a rare disorder in blood vessels usually. So it is triggered by a cold environment or emotional or environmental stress or vibrations and repetitive motions. So the answer for this is the B, and inflammation of ligaments in the wrist. So the next question is it's related to my field again. So the question is like this: like excessive leaning and reaching is required to access material on the far side of a conveyor or slide in a poultry processing plant. Which of the following is the best solution? So here the options are like design a diversion mechanism, create a chute, add a tilt or a dumper, or install a stationary seating. So here we are having a different options which we use, but not for the purpose where a person has to, in order to avoid a person going to the far side of the conveyor. So we have two mechanisms here, like we use usually in our plant, like the diversion mechanism. So that what I have shown in the picture. So we use a diversion mechanism, or there is another mechanism we call as split, in which the material gets split into the two different conveyor tables. So where the person can easily pick up, like the quality control guy or some other guy who can pick up for the sampling, or during packaging. So a person has to pick up for a packaging, then that can be done. So here the diversions are mechanical barriers that direct the material or the conveyor or the slide to the worker. So here we have one switch also. If suppose we want to divert this particular to the other area where you are getting be overloaded, like too much chicken is coming to your end. So there is one control mechanism like a button kind of a thing which will slide the material if it is coming too much towards your side to the other side of the conveyor. So these diverters are used where excessive leaning or reaching is required. Because this conveyor, sometimes what happens is your clothes or your these things can get into that conveyor rollers. So in order to keep yourself away for the safety point of view, this is very much advantageous. So delivering and placing parts closer to the worker, minimize reaching him and bending. So maximum reach should not exceed arm's length with torso upright. The torso upright is your upper body or the upper trunk of your body. So in your standing position, all the material should come to you. That is the main motto of this. So in this we have an option like the C option is also there. Add a tilt or a dumper. That is a wrong answer because too much of chicken, like 100 chicken or 200 chicken comes and get collected into the dumper, so which is again poured back into the conveyor. So this will not reduce the bending or extending yourself, or leaning cannot be avoided. So the best answer in this is the design a diversion mechanism. And the D answer also doesn't suit for this one because stationary seating is not at all possible. On the shop floor, a person remains in a standing position. So any questions, anything you want further in this?
Okay, well elaborated.
Yeah. Now coming to the what are the two primary situations where biomechanism analysis should be performed. So here it is asking about during manual lifting and to even evaluate the effect of body posture. Here same thing is repeated with work rest cycles, dynamic loads and static loads, but the first part is remaining the same, that is during manual lifting. So these two primary situations which is talking about. So usually biomechanics is the study of human motion. So we need to understand it is a study of human motion. So body postures are the important consideration when performing biomechanical analysis. So by studying the human posture, it will be very helpful for us to determine the causes for injuries and thereby can prevent reoccurrence. So here usually like biomechanics usually concentrate on your lower back and your upper body biomechanisms. So usually in the sports, people who are involved in sports activities and these things. So how it is basically a mechanical concept and mathematical calculations which you do. So whenever your body postures are basically concerned, when we are lifting any when a lifting activity is been a manual lifting activity has been carried out. And to the previous one, like in this usually we consider as like force motion and range of motion or inertia and force time is the different aspects which we consider in the biomechanics analysis during which. And to the previous question which we were talking about the ligaments and everything. So a simple thing for the team to remember, usually I remember like bulb, bulb, bulb. So you don't consider the u here. So the bone to bone connecting thing is called as ligament. And when we what we say like the muscle is attached to the bone, we call it as tendon. So this we need to remember. So whenever there is a tendon means the muscle is been attached to the bone. When the ligament, when two bones are connected by a ligament. So bulb, if you remember, you don't consider u. So the bone to bone is connected by means of a ligament. So in order easy for us to remember this one. I think my questions are over.
Yes, very nice elaboration. Yes. And yeah, Mushtaq Sheikh, the bone to bone connection is the ligament, and what about the tendons abbreviation?
Is a
Carpal
muscle to the
abbreviation.
bone. Attaching
Sorry.
muscle to the bone is tendons.
Okay, okay. Attaching muscles to the bone is
Bone.
okay. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So myself and Mushtaq has already given his presentation. So Mr. Muhammad, are you there? So can you?
Can you give me the question, because I cannot read? Just tell me, and I will try to. I will try. Because I'm in the vehicle right now.
Okay, then it is a hazardous job you are doing, because in
No, I will depend on listening only. I will not look at the mobile.
okay.
So
Okay,
maybe
so
just
I
one,
am
and
reading for you.
after,
So question number one, quiz question number, sorry, two, quiz one. I am reading for you. What is PTD? So you can explain now. I
what
am reading for you.
is, sorry?
PTD. PTD.
PTT.
Prevention through design.
So
Prevention through
better to
design.
take the other one.
Muhammad,
Prevention
Muhammad,
through design.
it's better.
Yeah,
It's better when you free, then you will present. No problem. No
yeah,
problem.
yes. It is like that. I have to look to what I write it already. So it
Yes.
is
Okay.
better to wait until I arrive. So just
Okay.
bypass
Okay.
me, and I will take the next. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Muhammad Asghar, are you there? Asghar bhai?
Yes, yes.
Yes, and then you can explain your question. So
Okay, okay.
here is the CLI. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. The question is the term CLI. CLI mean composite lifting index, mean in professional practice of ergonomics. I did not find any detail from Google or from anywhere. Just I copy paste from the from question answers. The composite lifting index is the term used in the revised NIOSH lifting equation to denote the overall lifting index for a multitask manual lifting. So I did not find any details. So if anyone can elaborate it, or
No, this let's suppose if a person is doing work and let's suppose sometime he's lifting 1 kg at the same time, next time he's lifting 5 kg, okay, and after 5 kg he lifting 6 kg, gradually increase and decrease in the lifting load. So for that purpose, how to calculate the lifting index for that person? So this composite lifting index is using in that case. Yeah, and this is in the PCSP, I think this composite index is not just learn that
I
where it
think
use and lifting index mentioned, but we need.
can I get one okay, no problem. If you are talking, no problem. Just about this index, I just one thing is, because I explained this chapter before, it is always comparing the reality with capability. Okay, this man capable to do this, but in reality he is doing this. So I have to make comparing between these two, or take the percentage between these two. So in this case, this percentage called the lifting index or index. So it is comparing between capability and the reality.
composite lifting index and lifting index, both are same things.
Lifting index or any index, it is comparing between capability and the reality. If you are doing something, for example, you are pushing some car, pushing, not lifting, okay? in your position, you are capable to pushing 5 kilo, okay? But in reality, when you are check this car, you find it is 10 kilo. So when you are comparing between two, so you are comparing two times what you can do. So important for the any index, it should be less than 1.
Okay, then
Okay,
Muhammad, what is its role? CLI, sorry, CLI role in Naosh lifting equation.
Yes.
CLI, it is compositive lifting index. Okay,
Yes, but is
in
its
lifting
but is its role
the
in revised Naosh lifting? Yes.
okay, in the Naosh lifting equation, you always, if we are calculating what we are doing, we get the one number. Okay, we get numbers after we get the lifting or the workload limit or the work RWL. Okay, it is actually that our capability. If you are taking the position and the vertical and the horizontal measures, so in this position you are capable to lifting, for example, 5 kilo. Okay, but when you are talking about you the recommended work limit, you need your capability and reality, what you are really doing.
Okay, Muhammad, it means that the RWL is having relationship with the lifting index.
Yes, of course. Actually, you are comparing the recommended weight limits with the real weight. After we, as you see, when we are calculating the recommended weight limit, okay, we are not taking any consideration for the weight, for the real weight of the lifting, okay, of the lifting objectives. And after we calculate it, we comparing by the real lifting, which real weight of the objective which you already lifted. Okay. For example, after you get the recommended work limits, okay, you find it is already 5 kilos. Okay. What does that mean, 5 kilo? In your position, okay, and the position of this load, you can only lifting the 5 kilo, not more. Okay, so now I want to know what is this load which you are going to lift. It is 5 kilo or less or more. Okay, I found it is more. So this lifting is rejected. Okay, this lift, if I found it is more, so that means lifting index will give me more than 1. Okay, so this lifting will be rejected. If it is equal, it will be accepted, or less, it will be also accepted. So now you get me?
Yes, yes, nice, very nice.
okay. Thank you very much, Mama. Thank you. Okay, the
You
next
will.
question is, what is anthropometry? Anthropometry is a science that deals with the measurement of size, weight, and proportion of human body. Like like in this world, there are it is used it can be used in many ways. Anthropometry, like uh, in the study of diseases, like people they are getting fatty. Some people, especially in the Africa, especially children, they are getting sick, they are not healthy. So this is the study of this anthropometric measurement. It collects data from individual, from humans.
What,
And
can I give more explanation about this science?
sorry.
Anthropometric. I will give you some also more explanation about this.
Yeah, please.
Okay, it is about the science of how to make some measurement of the human to make sure this something is fit with the human or not. Okay, and he is depending on two parts. One is static and one is dynamics. Okay, dynamic mean statics mean take the measurement of the part of the body, take the measurement of your leg, of your foot. However, okay, and dynamics to take the measurement of the reaching of some part of the body, how your hand will reaching to this part or not. Okay, so by this taking this for dynamic, for statics measures, you want to make sure this thing is fit or not. So you are taking around 95%, okay, from the man, 95 percentile from the man. If it is above this 95%, under this 95 or not. Why? Because the man already more big than the woman. So you wanted to make sure that this place fit with all. So if it is fit with somebody big, of course it will be fit with somebody small. And when you go for dynamic measures or mean reaching measures, okay, most of the percentile will come to the woman, because the woman always and most of the time are more weak and more small than the man. So you wanted to make sure that this woman or these persons are reaching and they can capable to take the task or not. Okay. So by this measurement, you can design anything. Like for example, the vehicle. The man who sits in the vehicle, you will take the measurement of his dorsal or his feet, like that, how he will sit in the vehicle, the chair of the vehicle. And there is the static measurement. For the dynamic measurement, you want to make sure that his feet can reach to the brakes and the gasoline and everything, and his hand can take can catch the control wheels and can reach to the gears and can reach to the doors like this. Okay. For the reaching or dynamic measures, you will choose women or child. Why? Because they are small. But for a chair, for everything, you will choose man. Why? Because to make sure that this chair are fit with all type of bodies. So now you get it.
Yeah. Muhammad, there is next question, and you already gave the answer of this next question. What is the role of anthropometry in today's life? Anthropometry plays an important role in industrial design, clothing design, ergonomics, and architecture, where statistical data about the dimension of the body in the population are used to optimize the products. For example, we have to a company has to make office chair. So first he will collect data from different, like from different people. So on the basis of that data, uh, they will make or they will produce this office chair, ergonomics chair. So that data is called anthropometric data. So all the companies today, in today's life, this anthropometric data is very important to, like, for architecture, for clothing, like for our personal protective equipments. So this is the role of anthropometric data in today's life. Maman, do you want to add anything?
Okay, I want to add. Okay,
Okay.
what in the anthropometry data about the clothing, you know that the coveralls we at our side. So the sizes of arms, the sizes of legs, and sizes of the vest is already logged in European standards, like uh, uh, 5 feet 6 inch and 6 feet height. So these are is a statistics collected from this study of anthropometry statistics.
Yes, yes, you're right. So the next question is why we need to collect anthropometric data. This already explained, because the life is changing like very quickly. Things are changing. Like a few years before, we had desktops. Now we are having laptop and we are using our mobiles. Same thing happen with the happen in all over the world. Things are changing very quickly. So to get data of the future, so companies they need to measure this anthropometric data or anthropometric measurement to get things done according to the specific region, specific individuals. Like in Pakistan, India, height is different. If you go to Europe side, the men's or women height is different. So that all the data that's come from anthropometric measurement. Okay, next question is, what is kinesiology? Kinesiology is a scientific study of human and non-human body movement. This is a study of body movements, whether it is animal or it is man, it is human or animal, both. What are the like movement of body? I give you example like a cricket player or football player, they do different type of exercise. So this study kinesiology helps to determine which exercises, which movements are good for them, which are helpful, or at which angle they have to dive, and at which angle or what height they have to jump. So this all the data, this all the study is known in kinesiology. Understand?
Yes, yes, well understand. Yes.
Okay, the next question is the physiology. Physiology is is the scientific study of functions and mechanics in a living system, like whether it is human or man. Their study of their mechanics, it is sub part or sub discipline of biology. It is focused on organism, organ system, individual organ, body cells, body molecules, chemical reaction happen in a chemical or physical action happen in living system. This all the study of all the things, this called physiology. That was the last question from my side.
Okay. Thank you, Asghar bhai. You already explained, I already explained Mushtaq Shaikh, and now going to first Abdul Latif. I think Abdul
Yeah.
Latif. Yes, yes, yes. Your turn.
Yes,
Your
sir.
turn. Okay.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What is engineering controls in ergonomics? Like, what are the how we can what is the role of engineering in ergonomics? So the answer is implementation of physical change to the workforce which eliminate or reduce work hazard. Like we have to implementation of physical change of the workforce which eliminate or reduce work hazard. Like we have to use such like engineering technology that it is it help us to reduce the work hazards. So any engineering technology, they are helping to reducing work hazard. So this is that is the that what sorry, 1 minute. Implementing basically to work in which eliminate reduce work hazard. Like we have to introduce or we have to use engineering technologies to reduce work. Like for example, use of device uplift heavy object, limit force exertion. Like we have to use some engineering tools or something, okay, lifting in a body or using diverging conveyors of main line so that tasks are less repetitive. So it is basically like how you can use okay engineering technologies or engineering rules or anything okay that help us okay to reduce work hazard. Now the second one is what is administrative and work practice control. Establishing process procedures, Example, require heavy loads are only lifted by 2 people or limit force exertion. Like what is administrative control and work practice in ergonomics? Like you have to use, okay, like one person is lifting 100 kg weight, so you have to, instead of one person, you have to use 2 person to lift that 100 kg weight. So you will, in this way, in this way you will reduce the work hazard. Or someone is like they have to do that some job like working hours, in 8-hour working hours they have to do some job, and they have only 1 hour break. So instead of 1 hour you have to provide him 2-3 hour breaks, okay? So the work hazard in this way, you will be controlling. And third one is, what is personal protective equipment in ergonomics? Using protection to reduce exposure to ergonomics related risks. Example, using padding to reduce direct contact with hard, sharp, or vibrating surfaces. Like personal protective, you have to use some personal protective equipments, okay? Like when you are handling hard or sharp objects. So in this way, okay, you are controlling work hazards. If anyone, this is one question number 13. So if anyone want to add from their side, so it will be appreciated.
So one example of personal protective equipment in ergonomics is vibration gloves.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Ishfaq, you want to add something?
It is already in
You hear
padding.
me?
Pad,
Hello?
like the pad we use in cricket. Padding we can use to reduce the direct contact with the hard objects.
Yes.
Hmm? Hello?
Yes, Ishfaq, you want to add
Hello?
something? Hello, yes, please.
If maybe all the person are safety professional, they will know definitely about the hierarchy of control of a hazard. If they want, I will just remind them that there are 5 steps once you are controlling a hazard. The first step is elimination. Eliminate the hazard completely. Let's suppose you have work at height. Okay, so eliminate the work at height. There will be no hazard for a falling hazard. Okay, this is the first control, elimination. Second is substitution. Substitute the hazard, reduce the hazard. How? Let's suppose you are using a chemical, a concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, this is a highly concentrated sulfuric acid, and you are using the person is exposed in the laboratory. Now reduce the hazard. How we will reduce? We can use alternative acid, or we can use its diluted form. If we are using its diluted form, and if the person is exposed to the same sulfuric acid, so he will not face too much injury. This is the second phase. If this is not possible, then we will come to the engineering control. Engineering control are generally happening during the designing. Once a thing is designed, during the designing phase, we can implement the engineering control. Okay, same like guard system, we are installing the guardrails, uh, some interlock system. This is engineering controls, or other engineering controls, ventilation system. This is engineering control. This is the third phase. Then we will apply this control. We will prefer this. This fourth one is administrative control, same like you define. And the last option is the PPE. Now, if let's suppose there is a question in the exam, what is the best controls? Then you need to follow this hierarchy. If the elimination are there, we will directly put the elimination option there. This is the best control. If this is not, then we will see for the reduction or substitution. If this is not present, then engineering control will be the best option. If engineering control is not present, then administrative control will be the best option. And finally, the PPs.
I
Yes,
think
very good.
I think it depends upon the situation that which control we need, whether we need engineering control or we need administrative control,
Yes,
or we need,
yes, yes,
or
yes.
we need
Let's
combination
suppose
of two
we
or
will,
three.
yes, we will prepare this hierarchy. I'm just asking, telling for the exam. Let's suppose there are 5 type of controls there, and this what is the best control? Okay, engineering is there, substitution is there, and elimination is there. Then the best control is elimination. Okay, what is the least control? Least control we will prepare the PPs.
Yes, Ishfaq, appreciate. Okay, very good explanation.
Yeah.
Now we have to further proceed. What is recommended angle below horizontal line side? Use video display terminal. So like this is horizontal line side. Okay, that you can see horizontal line side, and like they are asking what is recommended angle below horizontal. So it should be 15. Okay, and it should be 15 between 15 and 30, maximum 30 and minimum 50. Like that is the normal is 15, but it should be net increase than 30 angle. So like whenever you have to watch this one is a display terminal, so the angle should be 15, between 15 and 30. In the book they have mentioned, okay, 15 to 25, but in Google they have mentioned 30 angle. Anyone want to put input from their side? Ishfaq?
Actually, VDT, please, first of all, give some insight of VDT. What is VDT? Video display terminal.
Yeah, video display terminal, yes. So like when you have to see, okay, to that like to watch video display terminal, so the angle should be 15. Normal angle is 15, but it should be not more than 25 in the book they have mentioned, but in Google it is mentioned 30.
I have a question here. Let's suppose the angle of the video display is 25, okay? And a person is typing from a page. So where he will put the page? Downside, upside, or parallel with the screen?
Beside. Remember,
Beside.
the top of the screen should be in the same level of your eyes. Your eyes will get tired when it moving up to downs. Okay, but in the front and the back and the side beside, no problems. But very tired to move your eyes from up to downs. Okay.
Yeah, it should be
And
beside screen.
also, yes, that your screen, that your eyes is have down angle. Your lens, okay, have down angle. So the top of the screen should be in the same level of your eyes. And with this down angle always from 15 to 30 angles. Okay, so the angle of this lens always to down, not to up.
Okay, one another question. You are sitting in the office, okay?
Yes.
There is a one window, and the
Okay.
window, and now you want to put your screen. So where you will put your screen? In front of the window, so that the rays are coming, behind the screen, parallel to your eyes. You will put the screen cross to the window, so that the rays of
Actually,
light should come
yeah,
at 90 degrees to the screen.
there's a type of this lighting of the screen. Actually, if you wanted to see something, the light should be go in this part. Okay, the light not coming to your eyes should be focusing in the place which you are working. It will be more easy if I told you forget the screen, and if you are doing something by your hand. Okay, if you are I don't know if somebody of you like to sniping by gun or not. Okay, when I sniping by gun, I always go at night and sit under the tree, okay, and use my lighting spot on the bird and go there and shoot direct. I'm not putting the lighting in anywhere or on my eyes or in just in my target area. But here for the screen, there is so many type and the more advanced type of the screen auto lighting or screen photo screen or fluorescent or however. So in this, as per the type of screen, you will decide if the window, if you want to eliminate the window itself or not. Okay, so sometimes this screen designed that it will not affect your eyes. Okay, it will be reduce emotions or the value of the lighting of the screen with the type of the outside lightings. For example, the Advantage mobile or the Advantage smart mobile. Right now, if you are making auto screen or auto shading screen, so this mobile will be shade as per the type of the light outside. Okay, some screen is like that and some screen is not. So in this case, what I can do, so I can make already close the window or put something in the window so no lighting will come from the window, or I will depend only in the spotlight from outside. Okay,
Muhammad,
because what I need,
Muhammad, this was not my question. My question was that I know this is the best control that you close the window. What
yes,
is the screen
what you wanted to know where is the
when
place of the screen,
I request so?
right? Yes, you wanted to know if you wanted to put the screen in the front of the window or not.
This question because you know you
Because I cannot hear good. But anyway, I think the best solution is to put the screen in the front of the window. Okay,
yes,
so you're back to the window and the screen in the front of you. Why I have to do this?
you listen. I will
Because
give
sometimes I have tasks
uh,
not like window, not like screen. Sometimes I need to put the paper beside the screen. So in this case, I
before
need the
you will put the screen in front of the window so that the window is directly headed toward.
As I told you, I will not depend on the lighting of the window, but window sometimes is the best solution for emergency if there is no light. Okay, and I wanted to read some papers, so I need to sit in this position.
Muhammad,
Okay, please,
you will
okay.
back to the
The
window and
nice,
you will uh,
okay, sorry, the nice discussion is there is
the
any
answer was the correct
relationship
answer.
of video
They-
display terminal
that is-
of this relationship between glare on the screen? Is there any relationship with the video display terminal you are talking
once,
about?
once
We are talking about now
the
if we have screen and we have windows. Okay, the best position for
light
screen
is
is the front of
you
the
know
window.
it's, uh,
Yes, yes, but the problem, I think you have a problem in the voice. We cannot hear good. Right.
Abdul Latif, you can carry on. Hello.
Okay, right.
Abdul Latif.
Okay. What is the question two? Okay. What is abduction, fixation, extension, and adduction? These are the terminology usually using in ergonomics. So the first one is the abduction. What is abduction is called movement away from central axis of the body is called abduction. Like here, okay, you can see the hand is moving away from the body. So this is called abduction. Flexation is the moment the decreased angle between two adjacent bones. Like two bones are together, okay, like you can see this one, the person is bending or the other person he is bending their neck, okay. So the distance between the two the angle between bones is, so this is called flexation. What and extension
Abdulatif, your voice is distortion. There is distortion in your voice. Kindly repeat it.
I think Muhammad, can you mute your mic?
Okay.
Now I open.
Extension. Yeah. Flexation is the moment decrease angle between two adjacent bones. Like the flexation is called like the decrease, like two bones are there. Okay, so when you bring these bones together, okay, close together, so the angle between these two bones is decreased. So this is called flexation. Extension is the moment that increase the angle between two adjacent bones. So this is extension is opposite to flexation. Like here you can see the first one, okay, the shoulder flex. I think for this one is the picture is not there, but extension is just opposite to the flexation, okay, and the distance between the angle between the two bones has to be increased. And abduction is the moment towards central axis, the opposite of the abduction. So, and adduction is just opposite like abduction. Like in abduction, we said the moment away from the body, but in abduction, the moment towards the body is called abduction. So, this was my portion. And if anyone, Muhammad or Ishfaq or anyone can add from their side something, so it will be appreciated.
Yeah, I will add to your previous question. Like there is video display terminal. So in this we have one syndrome also. We call it as VDT syndrome. So sometimes it is also known as IT ophthalmopathy. So it's a disease that affects our eyes, body, and mind as a consequence of prolonged work using VDTs. So this is one also available, like VDT syndrome. Maybe this also maybe VDT syndrome, or sometimes it's called as IT ophthalmopathy. So ophthalmos is related to your eyes, so it is IT. So maybe it is prolonged working with the screens. Somebody is working with like gaming devices or mobile terminals, so somebody using that, so they usually get this disease.
So what is the symptoms of VDT syndrome? You have any idea, Mohammed Sheikh?
Yeah, there is a hazy vision, or eye fatigue. Fatigue is there, or some pain in the eye. Sometimes dryness of the eyes. These are the symptoms. And sometimes a blurred vision also. So there is a decrease overall. There is a decrease in the visual accuracy or acuity, what we call it as.
This disease is because of video display terminal.
Yeah, VDT syndrome. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Mushtaq sir, one thing is, please tell us that
One second.
after VDT syndrome, your eye vision is weakened day by day.
Yeah, weakened day by day. This usually comes with the what we say, like video gamers who are there. It comes with them.
Okay, thank you.
So the video gamers, the people who are usually with mobiles or personal computers, where as it was very well illustrated by Mr. Latif, showing the picture like 15 degrees to 25 degrees. People wearing this angle, people who are wearing with these angles, they develop a kind of fatigue in the eyes. So this is a ophthalmic condition, so that's the reason why they can refer it as IT ophthalmopathy. So where sometimes, for most of the IT professionals who are working in the night shift and with the video, that is the computers, they have a symptom like dryness of the eyes. So the eyes are very much dry, and they have itching sensation in their eyes also. So that usually we call it as a conjunctivital hyperemia. This is called as dryness of eyes. We usually call it as.
Yeah, exactly. Once I have visited ophthalmologist, and the same what you said, okay, eye dryness. So she advised me that I have not to use too much laptop and mobile, especially at night time at bedtime.
So just like this was the physical symptoms are also there where you face like, see, my line manager was there who has stiffness in shoulder and pain because this is was basically because of this angle. So and dullness in the because you have a continuous pain in the shoulders and you don't understand why the pain is coming usually. So sometimes a few people get pain in the back also. So this is another people have mental symptoms also where the persons who are having this one, they develop an irritation and anxiety also, and few people undergo depression. So they call it as they refer this depression to something as like a work stress or something like that. But usually this comes because of this VGT.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, Mr. Latif. It was very nice one because I forgot this one very long ago. Very long ago, I
Yeah.
forgot about this VDT.
Uh-huh. Appreciate your explanation, really.
Thank you very much. Now, your part is Abdul Latif. Thank you very much. Your part is completed. So, Mohammed, are you arrived to reach to the home? Are you
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
for?
yeah. But keep
Okay.
it the screen with you, and I will explain it from. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. I am opening. Please discuss. Start.
Okay. We talk about first the questions. What is the BTD? Okay. We say the BTD is prevention through design. So it is part of control measures or engineering control measures. As we know, sometimes when we are talking about some engineering control measures, so we have to do some design related to prevention or to modifications or to isolations. Okay, so this type of designs is a product from the NIOSH. Okay, and this design already focusing, okay, in order to minimize the hazard risk of the workstation and how to control it. Okay, and he put some effective type in this design. He put some effective type in preventions, okay, and minimize the risk of the hazards in the workstations. So it is just when you are making some design or you have to make some design in the workstation to fit safely with anybody. So this type we are saying we are calling prevention through design or BTD. Okay, and the concept, the proposal for designs, okay, is to highlight the importance in all and highlight the importance of the safety in all of the business decisions. Okay, so when I said I need these productions or I need to increase the production like that, so when I make some designs or something or some design stations, sometime I will put some decisions that how maybe I need to increase the worker or decrease the workers or increase the working time or decreasing the work times. Okay, as per the design already I put it, so it is already effective in the business. Okay, and the missions of these designs, okay, as we said, it is initiatives from the NIOSH, okay, to prevent and reduce the occupational injury and the illnesses and the fatality through inclusions of prevention consideration in all design that impact the workers. So this the important or the mission or the main objectives of this design is to reduce any occupational problem with the humans, like disease, like illnesses, what is this, fatal. So all of this, I should put this design for these reasons. Why I make this place like that? For that, not for increasing the product, okay, for fitting or for to prevent some illnesses or to prevent the occupational diseases for the workers, okay. Because I see in the question, some question before, in not in this one, in the fire and life safety, and the chapter number 4, when he said why you are putting the safety code or the fire and the life safety code, for what, okay, or just we to protect the business, but the real answer is to protect the lives. We putting these things to protect the life, not to protect the system or increase the product. This in some question, when it come you as a multiple choice, you can put you can choose increasing the business or increasing the reputations of the company as a main objectives. Always the main objective coming as for the safety. That's why in everywhere we are saying the safety first. Okay. How to perform the mission of BTD, of prevention through designs. Okay, the missions, okay, it can be achieved by elimination the hazard and controlling the risk to the worker to an accepted level, okay, at the source, okay, mean at the source, at the human itself, or as early as to accepted or as early possible in the life cycle of items of the workplace. So the main thing, I wanted to eliminate the hazard, okay, in the place of the worker as I can, okay, including design redesign. So maybe when I take making some work or something like that, I observe after that, during my observation, that this design is not working, so I can make redesigns, okay, and retrofit of a new extending working permissions, structures, tools, facility, equipment, machine, products, and substance of the work and the process. So during the design of the work itself, during the design phases of the work or of the business or of the machine, if I am designing some factory like this, so during this design, I have to put my BTD, okay, my prevention through design, or apply the ergonomic design, the workstation design, okay. And when I am going to renew some work or to renew some places, maybe I wanted to make some modification in the factory, so I wanted to transfer this machine from here to here. So in this case, I have to take into my consideration the workstations, okay. So that's what I am doing, is prevention through design also. And enhancing the work environmental through inclusion of prevention methods in all designs that impact the worker and the other on the premises, okay. So I am enhancing, or I am ensure that support the work environmentals to be supporting the health or the occupationals of all of the worker or anybody inside my workplace, okay. So when we are talking how to achieve the missions by eliminations, okay, that's the objective. So, and by early designs, okay, and by enhancing, okay, enhancing the work to be based on as per the environmental designs, okay. The BTD process are including what? Of course, we're talking about the BTD compresses all the effort of anticipates and design out the hazard to the worker in the facility, and the work methods and the operationals and the process and the equipment and the tools and the product and the new technology. All of this I have to take into consideration and using during making a workstation design. Okay, so all of this, some of them will taken into my consideration, and some of them I can use it to implement my safe workstations. Okay, after that, what is the two most common hazard associated to? We already achieve the BTD. In the main question of Span, what he answers, what is the questions? He said, what is the engineering control measures? Okay, what is the can concept, or what is can be accepted as a engineering control measures? And he put some choice like design of the workstations, or admission control measures, or work rotations. So design the workstation is the engineering control measure. Okay, that is the question in the spec. And in explanations, he explains the concept of BTD. BTD is a product of the NIOSH, and it is considered, or what we are knowing, it is considered of the design of the safe workstation for the workers. Okay, so anybody need anything again for this part for BTD? Okay. Okay, we'll go to the other questions. He's saying about the using of the hand tools. Okay, what is the two most common hazard associated with the hand tools, or how it come? Okay, what is the wrong, or what is the most two violation we are doing always? First is misusing improper maintenance. The misusing occurs when you are using the hand tools in something not related, or not fitted for these hand tools. Okay, for something not designing for these hand tools. Like you are using, sometime we are saying in our homes always this misusing happen. For example, you are taking a knife to shaving some wire to prepare it to do for something like that. So all of that, yeah, just you are using the hand tools for something not designed for. Okay, and after that, the improper maintenance allow the hand tools to deteriorate into unsafe conditions. Okay, so what is, as per National Safety Council, what is the most misused and abused tools in the workplace, and how? So as per the National Safety Council, they found that the screwdriver is the most misuse of the hand tools. Okay, misuse can be comprising by integrity of the tools by breaking the handles. As you know, sometimes you are taking the screwdrivers without handle and use it. Okay, bending. Okay, bending the shovel. Sometimes this shovel can be bending when you are working and you still workings. So now we are talking about some maintenance issue, not to use in something not related. Okay, or doing the tape. Okay, or making the worker susceptible to hand injury. Sorry. To hand injury when the tool is not used correctly. So when you are handling the tools and trying to do something in proper way, it will be already lead to some injury to your hand, and most of this hand injury coming as carpal tunnel syndrome, as we say, and sometimes you are you are pushing by your finger when there is no handling for these tools, okay, or no grip for these tools, and you are pushing your hand by your finger, the screw part, it will cause some inflammation into your trigger fingers, okay, and some inflammations, and what you are saying before in the previous question, and will affect also in the some fingers. All of these diseases can come for improper use of the screwdrivers, okay. So what is National Safety Council recommended to prevent the injury and keep the screwdriver in shape? Okay. Number one, do not use the screwdriver as a punch, okay, or wedge, or benching bar, or prise, okay. So, just you are using two screwdriver to screw the to drive the screw and drive in and out. That's all. That is the objectives of the screwdriver. And you as per the type also of the screw. Sometimes the screw is just minus, and sometimes is positive. However, you cannot use minus with the positive. Sometimes the people, if they have minus, they are using for anything, and that is not correct, because sometimes one time by another time, this it will lead to bend of the head of this screwdrivers. Okay, keep the tip clean and sharp to permit as a solid grip on the tip of the screw. Okay, so if I keep it as a clean and sharp, always I keep it as a sharp and clean. So I just have cleaning methods for this one, and I should have solid grip for this one so can handle it. Anybody have questions? Hello?
No, Mohammed, go ahead. Go ahead. Easy
Okay.
understand.
Keep the handle of the screwdrivers are clean and interact to allow for the solid grip. Okay, so as we said, if you are keeping the handle clean and applicable for you, so you will have good solid grip when you are pushing. You can be pushing good. Okay, never hold the piece of your if you are working in your hand. Okay, as sometime you are catching 2 times, as I say, as you are catching the pin 2 times in your hand, and you will see you will get some ergonomic in your fingers, and especially in trigger and some finger. Okay, carry the screwdriver in the toolbox of the work belt, and never in your pockets. Okay, never in your pocket, in the wood and wood sheet metals, and they make it a pilot holes for the screwdrivers. Just if you have toolbox tools, just it should be do not as I see in most of our labors, as you see the screwdrivers under some warish or under some hammers like that, everything is collapsed. When you are moving the tool here and here, of course you are affecting the head sharp of this screwdriver. And the best solution, if you have some hand tools, however metal or wood or something like that, you have to design hole, okay, to put the screwdriver and just be only appear from the grip area. So if you wanted to take it, you are well handling from the grip area, like the old soldiers, all the historical soldiers, when they are making the swords, he put it in his belt and he take it from outside like that. So it should be have grip or have cover. or have hole in the toolbox, okay? Or if you are wearing a belt, it should be you have some places for this screw, okay? But just do not put in your wallet or in your bucket, so it will be also affect in you, okay? And never use the screwdrivers during electrical work until is properly insulated. So there is an insulated screwdriver, or some electrical screwdriver are designed for electrical reasons, and you will find in the market some electrical screwdriver and some wood or other screwdriver. You can make you can differentiation between of them, okay? The hammer must be used for what, and what is recommended for safe use, okay? As you know, all of us, the hammer, okay, is an impact tools used to drive items into the material by way of manually or powered forces, okay? So you like pushing some nail or however, but it is always using for pushing some nail into some parts, okay? Is powered forces, and it is commonly source of the injury, okay? As you know, according to National Safety Council, all hammer, as you know, the injury like impacts, like sometime you are holding this nail by your finger, and as you know, most of the laborers or most of the people's working by hammer or by any hand tools are depending in the feeling sensation more than visible sensations. That's what mean. He's depending in feeling by his finger rather than depending in his eyes. He is not looking at his work, but he's depending, or sometimes just looking for more confidence. But the basic use of the sensation is the feeling by your hand. So he have to put his hand already in the hazard to maintain his work. That's why sometimes if the safety officer is not there, they have to remove the hand gloves and working, okay? And the most people exposed to the injury or already make the first aid kit always empty, carpenters, steel fixer, all of these people, because why? His hand always in the hazard, and he's depending in his feeling rather than depending in his eyes, okay? All hammer should, sorry, we are depending. All hammer should have a security defeated and handle suited to the type of the head being used. Okay, so the handle, as you know, the handle of the hammer, okay, it is already contact direct to the head. Sometimes this handle not contact good in the head, so the head sometimes is released from the hand and impact in someone and impact in me sometime while I'm using the hammer. So, and it can use some injury. So when I am using a handle, this handle should be real fitted, okay, with this type of fit. So as you know, it should be manufactural and quality for used, like CENSI, like that. So I have to make sure that this real hammer, not some homemade or some dirty factory hammers, okay? Sorry, because, and it should be oil free and shaped to fit the whole hand and the correct size of the links for the task, okay? And when using the hammer, protective eyewear should be used always, and of course you have to use also gloves. So that what mean I have to use good handle for these hammers. So this grip part should be fitted with me and no oiling. And in the same time, while I'm using the hammer, I should take some measures, some PPE, and the most important part is goggles. And after that, maybe he didn't try that, but sometime maybe you need to use hand gloves. However, you are fixing some nail or something like that, so you need to always also to use this hand gloves. Okay. What is the recommended for safe use for the pilers? Okay. Filers, as you know, this these tools we always using for so many objective or so many targets, and it is different from target to target, but under the same name. Okay. Bilers always have misuse in general proposals tools. They are using should be limited to operationals for which they are designed. For examples, in some questions here, you will find also in the ergonomic, you will find that so many types, the same equipment or the same tools for so many types of using can be different from proposal to another proposals. So sometime I am using the same tools or the same name of the tools for different proposal, and that is wrong. Why? Because everything have gripping or have type of gripping, because everything has his special forces required, okay, to maintain it. Okay, gripping, and it should be designing with the gripping and the cutting, never for losing and the tight nuts. Like sometimes they are using also to removing some nuts or removing the screw like that. It is not the work of the boilers. Sometimes I need some proper washers for that, and I cannot use the boilers for this. Okay. Always use washers on the nut and the bolt head, and never use the boilers. Okay. So when you are having some small nuts like that and you have boilers, okay, you will find it is easy. Why I have to search for washers number 15 or 14 for that? So it is a small part. Let's do it by piler. So time by time like that, you will find that you already get damage in the piler, and sometime in the reflection or releasing impact, sometime you will cause some injury to your hand. Okay. So because you are using the wrong tools. Okay. What is the most commonly type of the pilers? As we see, this piler have so many type. Okay, there is many type of the piler, and the most commonly are used is 6-inch combination slip joint pilers. Okay, there is a slip joint piler. 6-inch is the most common one used. It's the general one you will find, and sometimes it is have cutting part. Okay, the slip joint permit the jaws to open wider at hanging pin for the gripping large diameter objective. Okay, and some combination pilers are made with a side cutters arrangement. As you see, it is sometimes, as you will look to these pilers, it can be open, or you can be open whole of the head with only a small opening of the gripping part. Okay, you don't need to use two hands, just simple opening of the grip. It will be opening the whole head of the pilers. It is designing in that, and it is of course have side cut in the. If you look at the or no, at the lower part of this head, you will find some cut for cutting wire or something like that. Okay. What are the recommendations safe for warish? Okay, warish also, as we say, it is using to pushing or fixing the nuts. Okay, choosing warrish properly fit with the fastener that is to be turned. Using the current size reduce the chance of the warrish slipping. Always try to pull on the warrish, okay? Interested to the bushing, and in case of fasteners, suddenly loosen, okay? As you see, this warrish should be as per the size of what you are doing. And when you are doing any work by this warrish, okay, just when you are pushing, okay, you are handling some grip. Sometimes when you are doing your grip, you are turning off or turning right. And sometimes you need just to make some pushing, but not moving whole of your hand in the direction of the clock or the watch, okay? Just by pushing, okay, the part of your hand to push this warrish. So in this case, you are doing the safe situation. Otherwise, it will lead to some injury to your wrist and your fingers also, okay? What is the CVS? So now we are finishing from this question. Any problems?
We are already discussed.
Okay, about the CVS you discuss, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, just I will move to what is the presbyopia, okay? Presbyopia, okay. Presbyopia is the most common disease of using or eye stress from using the computers. It is coming by moving your eyes, okay, in some directions like back and the front, and sometime down and up, okay. And by the time with the age and after the age of 40, it will be appears like shortage in visions, okay. In this case, this syndrome we are called, okay, the presbyopia, okay. Here I writing, working with the computer require the eyes continuously focusing and move back and forth and align with what you are seeing, okay. Working at computers get even more difficulty as you get older. That's because your lenses, okay, or that's because the lens of the eyes become less flexible, okay. The ability to focusing on the near and the far objective started to be diminished, okay. After about age 40, condition called preso presbyopia, presbyopia, because actually I have a problem in reading the Latin names. Presbyopia, or what is this again? Presbyopia. Okay, yes, presbyopia. Okay, so you discussed this or not? I didn't hear this disease is called in our session until now.
This actually, the Muhammad, like myopia. There's a word like a myopia. Myopia is like, this cataract that comes in front of eyes. Like in
Yes,
Urdu, the people there, they say kala motia because this is an Urdu word. Okay. Sufed motia, kala motia. So this is, you don't know about this word, and this is only for the other people. So the word is coming from myopia. So the same is like the opia means related to your optics, actually, to your eyes.
yes,
So in this way, you can remember. Okay, thank
that's
you.
good. Okay, so and the other question is how to avoid strain with using the screen device. As we said before, the top of the screen should be in the same level of your eyes. Okay. your eyes is not regularly move from up to downs. It usually moves in the front to back and from the side to the sides. Okay, so and the lenses of your eyes always have curve into downs by I think from 15 to 25 degree. So the top of the screen should be in the same level of your eyes if you are sitting in good positions. Okay, and if you are using some papers or some documentation you wanted to use it uh, beside the screen, it will be beside, not above and not down the screen. You cannot move your head or move your eyes like that. Just it should be beside the screen. Okay. What is carpal tunnels? Okay. Carpal tunnels, okay, it is part in your wrist already make connections, okay, by front arm, okay, and your hand. And this part already have so many pathways of the polymers side, okay, and of course contain so many mid nerve and consist of the bone and the connection tissue and several tendons. Okay, so in this part, sometime as you see in more of this containing of this part, the inflammation can coming easy when you are making wrong positions for your hand when you are working in your keyboard or sometime repetition of the work, okay, by your hand. Okay, all of this can make inflammations in this area and will call the carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay, the diseases will be called the carpal tunnel syndrome. Here is the question about this one. He said, what is passing in this area? He give me some choice like medium nerve, okay, and the pulmonary, and he said medium nerve only and the pulmonary only, as I remember. So it's medium nerve and some pulmonaries, okay, and tendron, of course, and some bones, okay, and what else, and the connective tissue and the silver tendons, as we see. Okay, so that is all my questions.
Okay, thank you, Muhammad. So today, comprehensively, everybody presented their questions, and the situation is you can see here. Abdul Latif already presented. Muhammad, you already presented today.
Yeah, inshallah, tomorrow I will do,
Myself,
because today I got free, and by evening, I get back my mother from hospital. So inshallah, tomorrow I will do my
inshallah. Okay, man, and Jawad, these are the assigned questions are very technical for you, and we love to be here from your side for the
Okay,
about
no
the
issue, no
technical
issue,
questions, right? Yes.
no issue. Inshallah, tomorrow I will do the session.
Okay. And Muhammad Asghar also. So one thing is that the two Shfaq already sent, but the time is over. Inshallah, we will touch Mr. Shfaq to present tomorrow. The first, then obviously Jawad Bhai also. But the two person is Numan Adil and Abdul Ghaffar not doing their assignment in previous domain and as well as in the this domain, and these questions are untouched and remained unsolved. So it is better we will discuss it from the span after presenting of Mr. Jawad and Mr. Ishfaq. So this is the, and if they are I messaged him, if they are willing to be, then it's okay. Otherwise we will discuss these remaining question from span, and then tomorrow inshallah our domain 3 ergonomics will be completed. So anybody, any input, then we will hang off for today. Mohammad Askar bhai. Okay. Okay, Jawad bhai. Inshallah, tomorrow we will meet with
Okay,
you.
inshallah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.